Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever the hell you guys are located in this crazy world that we're living in. Dealing with COVID still dealing with natural disasters around the world. But anyway, that's besides the point, you guys. Tonight, it's Webisode number 53 here with Underground Noise Webzine. I'm Al Ditton, the guy behind it. I'd like to thank David from the Metal List for helping me get this interview put together and give him a nice shout out. Tonight, I've got the band called Headshot.
Woo! Yeah. Hey guys!
How are you?
Welcome, Headshot. How did you guys introduce yourselves and let us know what you do in the band?
Yes, I'm Olaf, I'm the guitar player.
I'm Danny, I'm the singer.
I'm Till, the drummer. I'm Ben, playing bass. And we're missing Max, our second guitar player, who cannot be here right now with us this evening. So shout out to Max as well. Hallo Max, na?
Hallo!
Max.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the lost sheep. It's like, hey, we can't leave the other one out. Yeah, good to meet you guys. First question I'd like to ask y'all is, who are your musical influences?
Whoa, we had a lot. Of course, Testament, Exodus, Slayer, Metallica, of course. So there are a lot of influences.
The old thrash metal heroes, but also some progressive style, some old heroes from the 70s, maybe.
Deep Purple, King Crimson, and some progressive. Rush is a favorite band of mine. And it has a big impact on our music, I think. It's maybe not so obvious, but you'll notice it in some little parts, maybe.
That's awesome. I like a little bit of Rush here and there. One of my favorite songs was called Bravado, I believe, something like that, off of Roll the Bones.
Yes.
You know?
90s, yeah.
It seemed like a pretty decent album, I thought. But I also like the number album 2012 or whatever it is, 2021, something like that.
Yes, 2112.
Yeah.
Yes, that's from the 70s.
With me, it's always hard to remember what number exactly, but that's I'm glad you could help me out with that. So thank you.
If you want to know anything Rush related, Olaf's probably like a walking biography of the band sometimes. At least the records, the early ones. Probably the later ones, but I'm not sure.
It's almost like walking on a hot coals fire, and you're just like, do I really want to do that? I can't remember if I did that last night.
Hey!
I remember things, you know, sometimes it's like that. And so that's basically the analogy that I put into play. So anyway, the next question I would like to ask you is, who writes the lyrics?
That's me.
Olaf.
Yeah.
Yes, I write most of the music and most of the lyrics. Because I have the melodies or the vocal lines in mind, and then it's easier for me to write something down. And I always ask if someone adds something to the lyrics, and Ben did one song, and Max did one lyric as well, but most comes from me.
That's really cool.
Master of disaster.
What kind of topics do you guys like to usually talk about in your songs?
Well, the album is called Eyes of the Guardians, and I think 2 or 3 songs have same topic about we are now heading into a more digital world, and we are maybe the danger of surveillance is I think more present now, because you don't know everything you do on your handy, everything may be watched from the other side somewhere. And look to China, the system in China, where you have got a social credit system, and I think we have to be carefully that's not something like that comes to our Western world too.
What would you say is your favorite thing about being a musician? This is a
Playing
question for
live,
all of you.
of course.
Yeah, that's
Playing live.
Playing live
That's
probably.
all every musician wants.
Not the hours spent alone in
Yeah.
our rooms practicing our stuff,
That's
but
it.
when we actually get to like play it in front of people and have them enjoy it, probably that's our favorite part, I think.
Yes, but I also like the recording time. When it all comes together, the writing process comes to when you hear what you've done and when you hear it with a good sound, and that's a really nice process too. I enjoy very much.
You can't go wrong with the final product, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you've listened to demos of the songs for years and years, or maybe even like versions that you write down in some computer software to get played back to you. But yeah, once the final thing is out there, that's really what it's all about.
That's where the mind will suddenly just expand and onto more stuff after that too, I'm sure. Well, my next question for you guys would be, have you ever had any moments while you've been on the stage that have been considered embarrassing or maybe say life-threatening?
Of
We had
course.
in 2004 we had the chance to play in Wacken Festival, which is, I don't know, in Germany is the biggest, maybe in Europe, maybe in the world, I don't know. It's meanwhile about 70,000 people, and yeah, for us we played in the tent. It was a small gig in front of 5,000 people, but we had the chance to join Cannibal Corpse, Nevermore, Saxon backstage, directly in this behind the stage, and yeah, for us it was a very big thing.
That's very cool.
Yeah, and
I mean,
Go ahead.
I mean, life-threatening, I wouldn't know if you ever had a situation.
You mean a situation when things are running not so good?
Yeah, kind of like, say for an example, like if you've been
Yeah,
on
yes,
tour and,
yes. It's,
like a
for
bus
instance,
driver
when
blows out.
I walk on the stage and we begin to play, and I don't hear the drums very properly. And you play and you don't hear really where you are. When the sound is so bad on stage, I sometimes had that problem. Yes. And then everything is not very enjoyable. It becomes very frightening. Yes. I think everyone had that situation.
Of course, yeah. Everyone of us.
And hopefully someone can fix it very soon, because when the situation continues, the gig will not be very good.
Yeah, that's never fun having to get booed off the stage, I'm sure. I know it's happened to almost everybody just about, but there's some people that probably don't.
I didn't thought we would get booed off the stage at any time. I mean, had that ever happened to you
No,
before
no,
I joined the band?
That never happened. No.
We're getting there. Someday it will happen.
No beer cans being tossed or bottles or anything like that, nothing too crazy.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, maybe in your history, did you have like any bad experiences with the audience? But
No,
Not
since
really.
since I joined the
No,
band,
not
everything's
really.
been running well.
Most of the times the audience is great and you're only feeling not so good, but most of the times it's only your own experience that you have for that moment and not for the audience.
Sometimes you have the very few people in the audience, and then you won't get a big response from the audience. No? But that's naturally. But mostly our gigs are
Enthusiastic.
we always have fun on stage.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
can say
As
most
we
of
do.
the times we have fun on stage, and that's what we try to transport to the audience. That's it.
Yeah.
Stage presence is always important.
Stage presence. That's it.
Yeah. That's definitely a lot of it right there. If you guys are thrown down, I'm going to throw down even harder by headbanging, then my neck might snap. But at the same time, it's worth it.
Whoa.
It's like how Metallica when they came out with that song called Whiplash, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, James Hetfield has probably way more experience with Whiplash in his neck than we do, and he still like is able to use his instrument on stage, and his downstrokes are still like out of this world to this day. Probably the only redeeming thing about Metallica, but I'm gonna stop there.
Yeah, I was just listening to Ride the Lightning earlier today, and I was like, wow, I haven't listened to this in a good minute or two. So
It was my first Metallica record. I bought back in '84. Yes.
that would be Kill 'Em All, the first one, right? And then
Yes,
Ride
but
the
it was
Lightning.
the first one I bought.
Oh, the first one you got was Ride the Lightning.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
Kill 'Em All I bought then later, of course.
Right on.
And I played always to the record. Then I bought a songbook with the tabs, for the guitar tabs, and then I learned the songs and played all the songs to the record.
That's incredible.
That's the way I learned guitar. Then.
Very cool. Very cool.
Search the whiskey.
My next question for you guys is, do you have any upcoming shows?
Yeah, of course. We play at the 19th of November in Hanover. Then
Germany.
at the Germany, yeah, of course.
Unfortunately,
then-
only in Germany.
Unfortunately, only in Germany. And then at the 2nd of December, our release party in Braunschweig, Brunswick, Germany.
It's our hometown.
Our hometown. And the next year we have some
Festivals.
some indoor shows, and yeah, it goes on and on. And I think with a new album we could reach some more festivals. I hope so, or we hope so, that we can reach more festivals which are bigger than the things we have now. So let's see what happens.
Maybe enlarge the circle of listeners. So
Yeah.
we are proud and happy about the new album, and yeah. So nice to meet you and make it present worldwide.
Yeah, of course.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks for giving me a portion of your time today, guys. I still have a few more questions left for you.
Sure, go ahead. I mean, it's not like we have anything else planned this evening.
We're sitting here with
He's
whiskey.
still like doesn't dare
espresso.
to pull out the next bottle of whiskey on the table, but I don't even know why. So
As we all know, I'm drinking my Mountain Dew Fruit Quake. It's that new fruit Quake.
Okay,
Fruit
what is
Quake flavored
that?
Mountain
it's
Dew.
still early in the
that?
afternoon where you are, but
Okay.
late in the evening
So
where we
cheers.
So cheers.
cheerio.
Cheerio, guy.
Ah,
Yeah.
pure
Yes.
deliciousness. Tastes like fruit
We
punch
like
mixed
that.
with nutmeg and cinnamon. So not too bad. Okay, my next question for you guys is, has there been anywhere in the world that you have not done a show at that you've always wanted to see? Like say Australia or maybe South Africa or wherever.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
Unfortunately, most of our shows were in Germany. We played in Switzerland and Denmark, but it's more in Europe. So
most
would be a
most of the
dream for
times
us.
it's in our habitat right here, and we hope to get bigger in the future, so that we can reach more people outside to book us, and
So it's really all about the booking essentially,
Yeah.
because we would be able to I think to play like a couple of hundred attendance clubs in, I don't know, all over the world, probably, as long as it's not too big. But you would have to get a promoter to like get a band from Europe there and get all the equipment there and everything, and then we could make it work somehow. I would have no problem driving in a rundown van through bumfuck nowhere, USA, to just play there. You know, it would be like the big thing to do, but we would have to pay for it, or we would have to take vacation and everything. So for that to be happening at some point, well, who knows what's gonna come our way at some point.
We are ready.
Yeah, we would be. I mean, yeah. South America, Asia, I don't even know. Yeah, just book us, we'll come. We'll play.
we'd be
Kick your ass.
there.
Yeah, I would love to see you guys someday. You guys sound really decent from what I had listened to.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Welcome. Yeah, you guys really shred my ears, so I'm looking forward to more.
Thanks a lot.
Did you enjoy the new record? Did you? What's your
I did.
favorite song?
I can't place the song that was considered the single right now, but I heard that and I just loved it.
Awesome. Yeah, probably the title track, "The Eyes of the
Yeah.
Guardians" one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it actually. Come to think of it, you got it.
Awesome. Glad you
Yeah.
enjoyed.
Absolutely. I could listen to that every single day and just go with it, you know. Keep on walking, you know. You
Go
just walk
forward.
really fast and, man, this is really pumping my brain today, you know.
Great.
Next time, I'm gonna put the whole record in, and let's see what happens then. But
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of which, how would you describe this album compared to previous albums? Would you consider this your best one yet?
Maybe yes.
Yeah.
It's a good sum up of everything we've done so far.
Yeah. It's a mixture of
Yes.
everything we are, of course.
We had in
That's it.
our very first albums were more groovy metal style. Then we had a very fast album, As Above, So Below. And now we've had a good mix of it all. And yes, I think the songs are pretty well done.
I mean, a couple of them were like 10 or more years older, and you just like, Olaf is our main songwriting guy, and from what I've put together, there were a lot of older riffs that finally found like their place on how they would fit together on a record to string it all out.
Yes, there's one riff that even come from the 90s that I have always at the back in my mind. And so this record had found its place.
What's your favorite song off the album so far? This is a question for all of you.
It's for me very difficult because I wrote the songs and I cannot really answer that question.
For me, it's Ground Zero.
It's difficult because, yeah, we love all, but I think that the mix is a special thing. The thrash numbers, a little bit progressive time. Yeah, it's difficult to point one out.
I think I'm gonna point out the Impenetrable Maze because I joined Headshot later on. They had already been in the game for 25 plus years, and that's when I joined the band. And a lot of the songs always had like this like little stoner rock metal Chaos Danzig style influence to them. And with the Impenetrable Maze, I feel like we finally put out a song that kind of, yeah, I don't know, like it fuses together all of the more groovy, more Black Sabbath-y riff oriented and not that fast, hard-hitting type stuff that was always a part of Headshot. And now it's finally found that one song where all of it channels into, and I really enjoyed that one for what it is, because it stands out so much.
That's
Not only on the
interesting.
record, but in the whole Headshot discography, whatever you call it. Yeah, so that's my pick.
That's really awesome.
If I had to choose one, I would choose Invisible, the last song,
Of
the
course,
epic track,
I
the
love
9-minute track,
Invisible.
because I have
So-
spent very much time to
Yeah.
write this song, and the song is very old. It's nearly
old?
15 years old, and I thought it never fit to the record until now, and there were times where I thought the song will never be released, but whenever I listened to my demo, which I created back then, again, I thought, okay, now is the time to bring it up. And I had no vocals in mind back then, but with the vocals now and the percussions and everything that was added at the process of the recording process, it becomes so much better than I thought it would ever be. If I had to pick one, then I would take this one.
I'll definitely have to check that out for sure. Again,
Yeah,
I'll give it a better listen this time.
it's the last track.
It's the last track, but it's
So epic
really
track.
epic.
That's 10 minutes long, so
It's
that
epic.
might like
I
scare
love
some
that.
people off, but we love that type of stuff, like where a song really gets the opportunity to tell a story in a way and develops over time, and you have like tension and relief and everything. It's not, yeah, that one riff. We do have a song that's basically 2 riffs on the record and no more, Scars of Damnation. And Invisible is the perfect counterpart to that. It's, I don't
Yes.
know how many riffs in there, in every variation, reversed, upside down, I don't even know.
And spiced with organs and percussion.
Yeah,
Tubular
we have,
bells.
yeah,
And
synthesizers on there,
Keyboards,
Hammond organs.
Everything.
yeah, everything.
There's
Yeah, almost
everything in
everything.
this song. And the how does it mean, the working title
Yes.
of this song
Yes.
was Tea Party. So
Yes.
Tea Party is the most important thing of this song. So you can say this is Tea Party.
Do you remember the Canadian band Tea Party?
I can't say I do.
That they do a Zeppelin style doors,
so
a mix
progressive.
of Led Zeppelin
Yeah.
doors with the oriental melodic, and I gave it the title,
The working
the
title.
working title. I called it the Tea Party because that was my influence at the time I wrote the main riff of it.
Well, so some people say it is a little bit influenced by Tool. Maybe this fits also a little bit.
Come on, honestly, the most famous Tool songs came after you even wrote that song, if you
Yeah,
wrote it 15 years
okay.
ago.
I never,
That's it.
Gonna
I-
cut you, sir.
I don't,
But
no, I had not Tool in mind when I wrote it. That's right.
he's the best songwriter.
Yeah.
I'm the best.
Pick up pen.
That's very sweet.
That's it.
Well, my last question for you guys is, do you have any last words for Underground Noise Webzine?
Probably keep doing what you're doing, because you've invited some random band from Lower Saxony, Germany to your show. And a lot of people will hopefully see this video and spread the word about underground metal in whatever way or form they enjoy. And hopefully they'll enjoy our record too, and a lot of other
I hope
ones.
so.
And yeah, guess that would be all I'd have to say.
We're so thankful that you gave us this chance to be on your channel. And to be here tonight, it's great.
Yeah.
So we love that, and we hope that you appreciate that.
Absolutely, I do. Thank you guys for a portion of your time tonight. It's been awesome.
Oh, you're welcome. Glad
Thank
to
you
do
very
it.
much.
Glad to be here.
Yeah. Hopefully to see you in the US, maybe on stage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, something like
Absolutely.
that.
Someday it'll happen.